There are two kind of watch collectors in this world. The first are the serious horology enthusiasts who study movement accuracy, mechanical craftsmanship, and Swiss heritage. The second group buys a digital watch because James Barr wore something vaguely similar once and suddenly starts acting like they're tracking Soviet submarines from a Denny's parking lot in Oregon. And honestly, I fall into category number two. Hi, I'm John. Today we're talking about two legendary watches, the Seiko G757 Sports 100 from the James Bond movie Octopussy, and the second, the watch that I actually bought because I am not emotionally prepared to spend 2 Gs on a vintage digital rectangle, the Casino AE-1200, also known as the Casino Royale. Now, the Seiko G757 Sports 100 is one of the most iconic Bond watches ever made. Roger Moore wears it throughout Octopussy, and unlike other Bond gadgets that appear for about 10 seconds and then disappear forever, the watch actually gets serious screen time. Bond wears it in the opening scenes disguised as General Toro, during the Sotheby's auction scenes in India, inside the casino, and then later during the entire Fabergé egg tracking sequence. The watch actually becomes part of the plot. Q explains that Bond can track a bug hidden inside the Fabergé egg using a directional finder built into the watch.
To radio directional finder in your watch. If you haven't lost it.
That's amazing, Q. It does work.
Basically, in 1983, MI6 apparently used agents' wrist mounted tracking computers while normal people were still losing fights against VCR clocks. And the design still looks incredible today. The black horseshoe shape around the display gives it that perfect retro futuristic Cold War look. It feels like something an intelligence officer would wear while carrying secret launch codes and smoking cigarettes indoors because apparently nobody feared death in the 1980s. The problem? Finding a real one. Collectors have driven the price of this watch, the Seiko G757 5020, completely into orbit. We're talking about over $1,000 and sometimes even $2,000, depending on the condition. Meanwhile, half of eBay is full of sellers trying to pass off similar Seiko models as Bond watch, like some kind of digital watch black market. If you're hunting for the real one, you need the black horseshoe design, the metal bracelet, and the Sports 100 wording on the bezel, not the silver wave version. Watch collectors become forensic investigators over details most humans physically cannot see. Now, this brings us to the Casio AE-1200, the watch I actually bought because I enjoy eating food and paying for ammo for my pew pews. The internet nicknamed this thing the Casino Royale because it looks like it came straight out of a low budget MI6 equipment locker. And honestly, it looks awesome. For around 30 to 40 bucks, you can go to Fred Meyer, have it delivered. This thing gives you world time, alarm, countdown timer, stopwatch, 10-year battery life, and a tiny little world map display that makes you feel like you're coordinating international espionage while standing in line at the gun range. The vibe is absolutely perfect. This watch feels like something a Cold War field operative would wear while transmitting encrypted information through a payphone in Berlin. Meanwhile, I'm using mine to remember when to wake up, what time to go to bed, and when my next dentist appointment is going to be. Human civilization peaked at digital watches, I believe you. And unlike the Seiko, I'm not terrified of scratching it. The Casio AE-1200 is basically indestructible. It doesn't try to be luxury. It's not quietly. It just exists. It exactly does what it's supposed to do. And honestly, modern smartwatches could learn something from that. Smartwatches now need updates, subscription, charging cables, apps, and emotional reassurance that you're doing a good job during a workout. The Casio just wakes up every morning, ready to survive any mundane, stupid day that you're going to have. At the end of the day, the Seiko G757 is still king. It's one of the coolest Bond watches ever made in a true piece of 1980s spy movie history. But the Casio AE-1200 captures that same retro spy energy for normal people like you and me who don't want to sell a kidney to a guy named Tokyo Time Master 1984 on eBay. That's true. That's an actual real guy. He will do that. And honestly, that might be the most James Bond move ever. I'm John. Thanks for watching. And I like watches.